My name is Hannah Whitman, and the morning my brother's wedding began, my family decided I no longer existed. My phone buzzed before I'd even finished my coffee. Dad's text was blunt. "You're not wanted at your brother's wedding. The vote was unanimous." Seconds later, my sister replied in the group chat with a single laughing emoji. I stared at the screen, heat crawling up my neck. I had designed the invitations, paid half the florist bill, spent weeks negotiating with vendors while my mother called it your duty as the older sister. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I typed only one sentence. Unanimous votes come with consequences. Then I moved quietly. I called the caterer and removed my name and my authorization from the contract. No drama, just paperwork. Next, I opened our shared family account and froze it with one click. My hands were steady. My breathing was slow. By noon, I dressed in black, not for mourning, but for resolve. At 5:58 p.m., seconds before the vows, the venue doors slammed shut. Guests were locked outside, and my phone began to explode in my hand. I didn't panic. I waited. The messages came in like sirens. My mother first, breathless, furious, pleading at once. "Hannah, what did you do? Fix this right now." Behind her, I could hear the crowd, confused laughter turning to angry murmurs, heels clicking against marble that no longer led anywhere. I sat on my couch, hands wrapped around a mug that had already gone cold. I answered calmly. "Ask the caterer. Ask the bank. Ask the daughter you voted out." Silence. Then chaos again. My brother called next, voice shaking. "People are leaving. The planner says nothing is paid. Mom is crying." I closed my eyes and pictured the contract I had signed months ago, my name in neat ink, my credit card attached, my responsibility invisible until I removed it. "You made your choice," I said. "I'm making mine." Outside my window, rain began to fall, slow and precise, tapping like a clock counting consequences. On my screen, I opened the family account ledger one last time, watched every pending charge freeze in amber. Then I muted the group chat. For years I had been their safety net. Tonight, they were falling without one. And I was finally still and at peace. At the venue, I imagined the scene without watching it. Guests clustered under chandeliers, phones glowing like a field of cold stars. My sister paced in her satin dress, lips trembling, while my father barked into 3 different phones. The planner tried to smile. The caterer stood back, silent, unpaid. Back at home, I opened the email thread that proved everything. Weeks earlier, I had warned them in writing that every vendor depended on my authorization. They replied with thumbs-up emojis and silence. Now that silence belonged to them. My brother left a voicemail, cracking, "Please, Hannah, don't do this in front of everyone." I listened once, then deleted it. I pulled up the contract again and added a single line, "Released by request of signatory." Outside, rain thickened. Inside, my living room felt bright, clean, unburdened. Then my phone rang, unknown number. The venue manager. "Hannah, if you don't reauthorize payment, we must cancel." I exhaled slowly. "Cancel it," I said. A pause. A door somewhere slammed. A cheer, faint, broke through the line. I ended the call. Their unanimous vote had spoken. So had I. And I finally stopped carrying their broken family table that night completely. By the time the rain stopped, the wedding had become a street corner argument. Guests huddled under umbrellas, phones out, filming everything like it was entertainment. My mother screamed into her phone, mascara running, while my father paced in tight circles that led nowhere. Inside my apartment, I watched none of it. Instead, I opened my laptop and printed every message they had sent me. The vote, the laughing emoji, the pressure to pay, the "you owe this to your brother." I slid the stack into a folder labeled fax. At 8:12 p.m., the planner called again. "They're offering to reimburse you. They just want the doors opened." I smiled at the ceiling. Too late. A second later, my sister texted me directly. "Please, just open the doors. I'll apologize, I stared at her words, remembering every time she rolled her eyes when I spoke. I typed back, "Apologies don't rewrite choices." Then I turned my phone face down. The storm outside had ended, but the storm they created was still raging. And for once, I was dry. In that quiet, I felt something new: clarity, control, and a boundary that would never again bend for my daughter forever. At 9:03 p.m., my brother called again. This time his voice was lower, stripped of anger, full of panic. "People are leaving, Hannah. Aunt Carla is crying." The photographer packed up. "Mom keeps asking for you." I leaned against my kitchen counter and stared at the quiet clock on the wall. "Did anyone ask me how I felt when you voted me out?" I said softly. Silence. Then he whispered, "I didn't think you'd actually do anything." I let that sit between us like broken glass. Outside, thunder rolled in the distance. Inside, I felt still, almost clinical, like a surgeon who had finally stopped operating on the wrong patient. I opened my bank app one last time. Every charge frozen. Every promise withdrawn. Every tie cut clean. My mother began calling again. I let it ring. Instead, I wrote a single message in the family chat, the first since their vote. "You chose public humiliation over private respect. Tonight you got exactly what you chose." Read receipts popped up instantly. Then I turned my phone to Do Not Disturb. I sat down, poured myself a glass of water, and watched the rain bead against my window. For the first time in years, I wasn't waiting to be needed. I was finally choosing myself. By midnight, the street outside the venue was nearly empty. I imagined the scene without needing to see it. Wet dresses clinging to bodies, makeup streaked from rain, my mother's sobbing echoing against locked glass doors, my father arguing with security like force could rewrite a contract. At home, my silence felt loud in the best way. Then my brother sent a photo, not a plea this time, just proof. The doors closed. Guests scattered. A ruined cake left in a lobby no one could enter. Beneath it, one line, "This is your fault." I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed back slowly, "No. This is the consequence of your vote." I didn't block him. I didn't argue. I just left it there, clean, final, undeniable. A few minutes later, the caterer emailed me. They were already packing up, professional and unbothered. The venue issued a formal cancellation notice. I printed both and slid them into my fax folder. On my coffee table sat the invitation I designed. My handwriting, my aesthetic, my labor. I tore it in half and dropped it into the trash. The house was quiet. The storm was gone. And in that stillness, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Unapologetic. Untethered. Certain. Whatever came next, I would meet it on my terms, not theirs. The next morning, the story was everywhere. Photos of soaked guests, locked doors, and my mother arguing with security circulated like wildfire. Headlines called it the wedding that never opened. Comment sections were brutal, not toward me, but toward a family that had publicly voted out their own daughter and expected her to fund their celebration anyway. My brother showed up at my apartment, uninvited. He stood in the hallway, eyes red, suit wrinkled from the night before. "You ruined everything," he said quietly. I opened the door just enough to look at him. "No." I removed myself from a system that never valued me. He swallowed. "Mom's a mess. Dad says you're heartless." I almost laughed. They had a vote. I honored it. He tried again. "If you just reopen the account." I shook my head. "That door is closed the same way the venue doors were." Silence stretched between us. Finally, he whispered, "I didn't know you were this strong." I didn't soften. Strength, I realized, isn't loud, it's consistent. When I shut the door, I didn't slam it. I simply turned the lock and left them standing on the other side. That afternoon, I went back to work as if nothing had happened. The office was quiet, fluorescent lights humming, my inbox stacked with normal problems. No drama, no family chaos, just clean, solvable tasks. By evening, my phone buzzed again. My mother left a voicemail, voice thin. "We never meant for this to happen." No apology, just history rewritten. I didn't return the call. Instead, I opened my laptop and transferred my portion of the shared account into a separate one under my name only. I changed beneficiaries, updated passwords, and closed every joint line that had tied me to them. At sunset, I walked to the river and sat on the railing, watching the water carry everything away that I no longer needed. My brother texted once more. "Are we still family?" I thought about it for a long time. Then I typed, "Family is how you treat people before doors close." That night, I printed the wedding invitation I designed and framed it, not as a memory, but as proof of the line I drew. I didn't gain a family. I gained myself, and that was enough. Peace settled deep inside my breathing bones tonight.